What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got a crew, and looking down here, you can tell, look at that, you can see bottom. We got that crystal clear water. We sent it over on a 25-foot boat. We're here with JD. We got Brent, Dennis on his rig, and then Jake. Everybody knows Jake. But last time I was here, we had an absolute wrecking crew. This time, they're newish. Check out what JD's rocking. Look at this thing. He's rocking the Sea Archer with a reel. It's his first time using it. So, are you pretty stoked?
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Why are you using this?
Well, Captain Jack Sparrow uses a sling. I didn't want to build one, and they have it pre-built, so just go buy it, Sea Archer.
Yeah, so I actually am probably not gonna rock the sling today. I might when we get to shallower water, but yeah, I'm gonna start off with the pole spear, rocking the Nomad 9-foot pole spear. But you guys, I got something really special for you today. I didn't bring any lunch, any dinner, so we need to hurry up and shoot a fish because I got a little surprise for you. So once I get a fish, or somebody gets a fish in the boat, we're gonna do something pretty cool. So yeah, we're gonna take you along for this, and stay tuned for that. Alright, you guys, welcome back to the voiceovers and welcome underwater. It does not take long for us to get into the action. I just hopped in and I saw a bunch of bait fish cruising around, so I decided to throw my throw flasher, and when I was doing that, I saw this Cero mackerel come in. And whenever you have a throw flasher and you're in the Bahamas and you see a Cero, get ready, because if you throw it out, they will come in and you dive directly to the flasher. So that's what I did on this drop. I went straight to the flasher, and the Cero will usually do the same thing, and then they veer away. So that's whenever you intersect with them. Once they go to the flasher, you veer away with them, and usually you land the shot. And just like this one, landed the shot, let him run a little bit, and I have him on the belt reel, so I just pull him up real quick. That was first fish of the day, and it took about 30 seconds to literally get the first fish of the day. Jake, you're good. Hey, Jake, you're good. Just, I'm gonna chum this guy. He'll come back around. Come back around. Now, you saw we were in a little bit of a shallower area, but the way the current was going, it was just pushing us off this deeper edge, which isn't the end of the world. You might just have to make some, couple of deeper drops, but once you get down past the murkiness, it usually opens up down deeper, and that's what happens on this dive. And when that happens, there's usually fish will come up off the bottom and try to check you out, or there might be a pelagic, another Cero, or an African pompano permit. All those different kinds of fish you have the potential of getting. But on this drop, I don't get anything, but there is something you can learn from it. When I hit this edge, I'm just kind of hovering, and Jake is right up above me. And what happens is I'm down there kind of getting towards the end of my dive. I'm not going to really hunt a ton. I'm not going to go all the way down and do any scratching because I really don't see a ton of fish, but I end up seeing something kind of towards the end of my dive, and it'll happen here eventually. I start to head up, and out in the distance I see a mutton coming in towards me, and when that happens, obviously I don't want to overdo it and push my limits. I don't want to turn back around and go after him, but I know Jake is at the surface breathing up, and so I know he'll be able to make a dive real quick if I let him know something's down there. Because again, you can't see anything from the surface because it's just a little bit too murky, but it's just enough to where I spot something off in the distance, come up, and we do a little bit of teamwork. On my way up, I'm kind of looking around. He ends up being right up above me, and I let him know, point down, let him know exactly where I'm at and what's below me.
Mutton. There's a mutton that followed me up. A mutton followed me up. Dive.
Here we switch over to Jake's GoPro, and he's using the same pole spear that I am, the same length, the same brand, except he's using a roller. What I use is the traditional band, and there's a lot of ups and downs and perks. And comment below if you want me to do a comparison video. I have some footage of some pool footage of me testing out distances of rollers versus traditional, and it's kind of a cool perspective, and the results were, you know, interesting what I found out. But this ends up being the mutton that I saw. Jake just was in hot pursuit, literally came in, was obviously really curious. He landed a shot. I didn't really hear it go off, but whenever I saw him come up, I was able to realize, okay, yeah, he's got a fish, he's on his way up, and in case he needs to let go and let his reel line out, I can intersect, and that's what I actually do from this point. He's looking up, and we're going to switch to my GoPro in a real quick. When you see somebody get a fish like this, I go down there, help him pull it up so it doesn't, you know, hinder him to get to the surface, and it just makes it so much easier to buddy dive and use teamwork to land these fish. You always land more fish when you use teamwork, and later in this video you'll see a prime example on that.
Nice, dude. There was a monster black grouper down there. I just couldn't get to him. No way. I swear to God.
So the only stuff we saw was a little bit deeper on the previous spot. So we decided to move a little ways down the reef. We found a shallower area. It was a ton of life, but not like obviously huge fish. But the way the current was going, like I said earlier, it was shallow, and then it kind of brought us into a deeper area. And we start shallow, nice mutton comes in, and I think he came in on some guts because we waited to gut that mutton into this spot. The guts kind of piqued the curiosity of all the bait fish, and then that's whenever the mutton came in. I shot him, and I think I blew a hole too big in the fish, and the slip tip just pulled right out. Now I know he was in these rocks, but he ends up bolting from this spot and goes to another area. And I end up just, you know, I'm figuring, you know what, it's shallow, I'll take my time, make sure we land a good shot on this fish. And right as I was going up, the fish poked his head out and went to another hole. So we go ahead and follow him, and this is going to be the follow-up shot. I don't want to take chances. I'm going to make sure I take my time on these follow-up shots, because most of the time the fish is wounded. You can see it's kind of going from little patch to patch. He's trying to find a place to hide, ends up going to another spot, and I land a shot right where I hit him the first time. And I was a little worried about him tearing out, so I go ahead and grab the fish and bring him up to the surface. You'll get Jake's perspective there. See me grab him, swiveling my head to keep an eye out for sharks.
That was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it was.
For a smaller mutton too. Good size though.
Bro, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's a perfect fryer for tonight.
yeah, it's perfect.
What's that? You see that burial behind us?
Right there.
God damn.
Where?
So that was about 30 feet, and we end up drifting into a little bit deeper. It's about 50, between 40 and 50 feet where we are now. So we're getting into a little bit more of a depth. So we're kind of keeping an eye out for bigger fish, and also those pelagic that just come cruising through. A Cero came cruising through, so I threw my throw flasher, and this is pretty interesting. The Ceros were coming in, and this stupid barracuda, and this isn't the last we see of him, he comes in, spooks the mackerel, goes after my flasher. I retrieve the flasher. Luckily, these mackerel come in, but it's really far off. I take a shot, and I saw the slip tip was barely in the fish, so I was going to basically not pressure the fish a ton because the slip tip will rip out easy. And right as I started to kind of pull him in, I look up to the left of the screen, and that stupid cuda comes in, and before I could even do anything, he darted and got a hold of the Cero. And now I was super pissed off. I should have just ripped the fish in. But again, I didn't really even have time to do anything.
Stupid. God, it pisses me off.
Now Jake's GoPro died on the middle of this dive, and it's something interesting I found out. His cable he was using, because we use these stainless steel cables on our slip tips, it ended up, you see the fish spinning like it is? It ended up twisting the cable, snapping the cable, but the cable was so twisted up, it was almost like braided tight and retied. So if you ever, just a rule of thumb, if you ever have a cable that's kinked, switch it out.
Bro, there's a big cubera around.
And this fish actually led to something pretty amazing. We decided to gut it, and we're drifting off into the deeper area, probably like between 65, 70 feet. And you see all these guts going mid-water column. There was a big cubera that came up. You can see it kind of off on the bottom of the screen going back down to the depth. And these guys, I usually don't pay them any attention because they're so smart and know that a predator, like if you have intent to kill, they usually are gone. So I don't even pursue towards the fish. I actually just go towards the bottom. And something different that I try is I start banging my elbow on my pole spear. And I know one thing about cuberas, they're very curious, but if you get excited and go towards them too fast, they usually dart or just stay just out of range. So I decided to kind of not pursue the actual cubera. He didn't spook, so I was like, you know, I'm just going to descend to the bottom. And I just start banging, doing some grunting, nothing hardcore because I don't want to like overdo it. And I'm thinking right now, oh wow, this thing's actually going to give me a shot. And I know he's probably going to bolt any second, so I let it rip. And when I get on the boat, you'll see where this thing actually landed. But I grab my line and I keep him just out of the reef. Not enough to where I rip the spear out, but I let him run, letting my belt reel out until he gets right to the reef. Then I give him just enough juice to keep him, to turn him away from the reef. And then he just keeps doing that over and over again. And this is something important. Jake comes down, I hold up the 2 to saying I need a second shot. And he went to grab my line, but I hit his hand away and made a grunt, which he played it perfectly, knowing that don't put pressure on the fish.
I just need to keep him off the bottom.
And he knew exactly what I needed.
I can't put a ton of pressure on him. Just get my Hawaiian sling or something.
Just that little bit of body language and that little bit of grunting and letting him know what the scenario was. He kind of figured, all right, it must be like a iffy shot, especially with these pole spears. To get a good shot on these cuberas is really tough. But he knew exactly what was going on, and I just keep babying this guy because right now he's not fighting too hard. I'm just slowly pull him up. If he gave a couple of tail kicks, I just let him have the slack. And I'm just waiting to get another sling or pole spear just so we can secure a shot all the way through the fish. And I'll be able to hold the fish mid-water here until we get a shot and he won't go down all the way to the reef. And Jake makes a dive right here, but the fish looked like it was going to keep going down, so he just decided to take a really good breath.
Hold on. Yeah. He's chill. Just wait. No rush. Can you see that from the surface?
And you hear that we're not too...
Big cubera.
We're not too worried. We're not rushing. The fish is pretty much spent. And all we need to do is just get this next spear securely in him, and then we know we got this fish for sure.
Yo! You fucking snapjack! Oh my god!
Don't give a hand to skills.
I don't have them yet. We will eventually. Follow me, brain them. Those of you who ever wonder what's inside of a cubera, I did gut him, and here's his stomach, and it's just a bunch of chopped up lobster. So there's a little telltale for you if you ever want to try to catch one on a hook. Shot him at 65.
Dude, I can't believe you got up to that thing. I thought he took off when you started.
Nah, I just didn't move, and I started banging into my pole spear to like pique his curiosity.
You came back?
Yeah, I came back. Is your GoPro off? Is it dead?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, damn.
I know, bro. I'm sorry.
Hey, grab that GoPro stick. Nice.
Legend.
Grab at the gill. You got him? Yep. Go ahead. Nice. Just pull everything in with it. You bent my injector rod. You see that thing? It's bent. There you go. Just toss him down. I'll take care of him. Woo! Dude, that was awesome.
That was legendary, Jack. Great job, bro. That was such a dive.
All right, so this is what we come out here for. Beautiful, beautiful cubera. These things never give you the shot, and this guy came all the way up off like the deeper edge of the reef, came all the way up to like 40, and then Jake grunted. He was out of commission because he just shot that dog snapper and his like line was all torqued up. But I just descended and I started like getting, he wasn't spooked, but he was just hanging out at the bottom, and I know how they do normally, they just keep out a distance. I started going down and I started banging onto my pole spear, like with my arm. And it kind of like, he went away when I stopped and I was grunting nothing. And then I started banging on my pole spear again with my elbow, and he kind of came in. And sure enough, he like came right in, and I kind of chased him a little bit, and he went to turn, and I just ripped it. And I was holding on by like, this is where the shot was. It literally was held on
Other side.
right here, and then came out right here. Like in here and out there.
Light, you can't see it.
There, yeah, it literally came in here and came out in the gills. So it was held on, I mean, this bone, it was holding it, but knowing these things, they have so much power, they could easily like break that. So I was working him just enough to keep him off the bottom and to where I could get up to the surface. And once he was down there, I knew sharks weren't really gonna mess with him because he's kind of too big. And then we waited for another pole spear, and Jake got the shot in him. Good job, dude.
Hey man, you did a
awesome.
good job, bro. Look at that stud.
What do you think?
One tooth wonder right there, dude.
Oh, dude, you got a snaggle tooth. That'd be a cool mount. What do you think, JD? Is that a good birthday fish?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I got you this for your birthday. Do you like
Jack.
it?
That's a gift and a half right there, dude.
Dude, that's awesome, man. It's a big one I've gotten in a little while. It's good stuff. No, like 60 pounder. What do you think? That's like 30 maybe?
I don't know. That's a
30,
stud fish
30,
there, regardless,
Thanks,
bro.
dude.
Stud.
That's awesome. So while we're getting into the next spot, I'm making up lunch. So in here I got some orange, lemons, and limes. I have a little seasoning packet in there, and I'm gonna fillet one of the fish, and we're gonna go ahead and dice it up, squeeze everything onto it, mix it all together, and I also have another special ingredient, well, special ingredients. But yeah, this is going to be lunch for everybody, and these guys have no idea what's about to hit them, so we'll get to it here.
Nice hogfish. Thanks to this guy right here.
That's right.
Compliments of Brett.
Compliments of Brent. Getting us lunch.
It's gonna be lunch and appetizers. This knife is so sharp, I'm worried about it. I'm gonna dice it this time.
Woo, look at that.
So what we're gonna do with this, I'm gonna go ahead and skin it out. I'm not gonna launch it off the...
I hope not. I was getting ready to catch it.
Launch all that, cut the bones out. Alright,
salt water rinse down. All right, and I'm just gonna dice this up into thin slices. One. I felt it out. A good thing you can do is always run your hands along the fillets, and you'll find any extra like bones like that. You can probably almost even just pull them out. But I'm gonna make thin slices like this, and then I'm gonna make them like this big. That's the goal. All right, but I'm gonna do it a little quicker than that. I'm gonna do a couple of them at a time. Go like this. And then once we're all sliced and diced, we'll get to the next step. We got a nice batch of fish all chunked up, you can see that. And then now the lemons and limes, just until they're pretty much covered. So they're pretty much covering. We want to just make sure it's an even amount of lemon and lime. Just to give it the equal amount of flavor. And here's an orange, just to give it a little bit of sweetness.
Is that a blood orange?
Yeah, it's a blood orange.
Nice.
They're a little sweeter.
Yeah, I like them.
That's good. We can pause. The whole premise behind this is the acid from the citrus actually cooks, like slowly cooks the fish, so it doesn't overcook it, makes it nice and mushy, and then it blends in all the vegetables, all the seasoning, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But once we get this thing almost covering the fish, we'll move on. All right, so I threw the herbs and spices in there. It's already starting to cook, and it's actually bubbling. You can see it bubbling over there in the corner. But this is the special ingredient. It's literally delicious herbs. So it's sweet peppers, jalapeno peppers, cucumber, tomato, except I squeezed the seeds out of them, cilantro. I think that's it. And that's the special ingredients. And that's what gives it all the flavor. Hopefully it's not too spicy. Everything into the juice. All the seasonings, everything. It's like a giant fish salsa. Wash your hands. Dude, smell that.
Woo, that smells good.
Smell it. It smells good.
Oh yeah.
You smell it?
Oh yeah. Oh baby.
So once it sits for a while, it'll cook, and then we'll get chips and dip it out of there.
Yeah.
Money. That's lunch. That's lunch on a pinch, kinda.
We finally got to some shallower water. JD was having a little bit of a hard time clearing his ears, but it was just enough to where he could land a solid hogfish that we end up cooking later for dinner, so stay tuned for that. And he absolutely rolled this guy with his Sea Archer.
Yo, that was a fucking shot, dude.
Brent got in on the action too. There's a nice strawberry grouper, little shallower water. Plays it really cool, gets nice and close. These are a really good fish to spear if you're either new, or I shoot them all the time because they're freaking delicious.
There you go.
Nice. Nice fish, dude. Hell yeah. Nice job, Brett. That's 2 for Brett.
Perfect. 8 feet of water.
Here, let's brain him real quick.
All right, Brent got a fish. Got a nice strawberry, dude.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a good one. I think Jake got some footage, so we'll probably go ahead and roll from his side, but look at the size of that one. Dude, that'll be good eating. Oh, here's your tip back. Good job. We'll cook that up tonight. Stud strawberry. That's like grouper candy for those who don't know. Yeah, we're gonna throw it in the bag and let the guys get back after it. All right, this is what we got. It's all cooked up. Looks like a hosh posh of veggies and fish. Here, you got it. You're gonna do the. You're
I'm
gonna
the
do
honors?
You got the honors.
No, the
man.
birthday boy should be the honor.
Oh yeah, dude, birthday boy, get in
the
here.
birthday boy,
Get
gets
in
on.
here.
Oh, God.
God no.
Yeah, reach your hand in there, get you some.
Here we go.
Yeah, just try to
Get a
get
nice fat chunk
try to get a
of fish
bunch
on
of
there.
fish and everything.
Oh, he got a little everything there.
Or what do you think?
That's absolutely awful.
Awesome.
That's a hard life.
That's some good stuff. It's just so clean, dude.
That's amazing, Jack.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, that's a bite. That's a bite.
Oh man, no.
What do you
my
think,
chip
Dennis?
broke.
Oh,
It's
wait.
awesome.
Yeah, I was like, you can wait. You can chew
Man,
chew
it's really
first.
good.
Yeah, heck yeah. What do you think? Good. Good for not cooking, right?
That's on point. Captain Chef Jack Boyardee.
Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
I'll leave these here. I don't need to be in control.
Oh my God.
Good, right? Not bad.
That's amazing.
It's like salsa mixed with
So fresh.
seared fish. It's freaking good.
like
I know. Well,
perfectly-
it's like cooked, but it's so lightly
Perfectly
cooked.
cooked is
It's
what
like
it is.
lightly cooked to where all that acid kind of just gave it that like outside texture of cookedness. And this is probably maybe probably 4 hours after I did it. What do you think? 3 or 4 hours? 3 or 4 hours after I did it. Yeah. So it sat in there for a good time, and yeah, whenever we finish up, hopefully there'll still be some juices, and we can just add to it. Now it's time for somebody to take a scoop of that.
Oh shit.
You won't.
I won't.
That is sardine and sardine water that's been sitting on the deck all day. That's pretty gnarly.
We got back in the water and we got into some serious fish action, and it seemed like later in the afternoon the fish really started to pick up. So I go in and make a drop, and I'm in about 70 feet here to the sand. And I know I might not go all the way to the sand, but I end up actually going to the sand on this dive. I was feeling really good, wasn't pushing myself, had Jake right on top of me. The current wasn't pumping, but the fish were definitely around. I saw a cubera off in the distance, and he seems pretty skittish, standoffish. He's very interested though, so I don't haul butt towards the fish. I just descend. I'm not really kicking much. I probably could have shot right there, but I hold off. I'm not going to be very picky. I know I already have a cubera, so if it gives me a really good shot, I'm definitely going to take it. But I go all the way to the sand, and I kind of start hugging the edge of this reef to my left. And I kind of show it the snapper that I'm not really interested in him, and hoping that he comes in, kind of closes the gap a little bit. And it actually works. I really probably should have taken the shot there. As it was kind of swimming away, I could have just kind of flung the spear a little bit. But again, I wasn't going to really push myself. I was towards the end of my dive in case I got wrapped up or something. Didn't want to run into any issues. So I just decided to head to the surface, and I'm glad I did, because the chain of events worked out perfectly for this last probably hour and a half of diving.
Oh, shot another cubera. Smaller.
We moved a little farther down the reef, and we're just cruising along the edge here. I go ahead and prep for a dive, and again, I'm feeling really good on this day. I go all the way to the reef, which is probably about 60, 65, not crazy deep, but definitely not all the way to the sand. And I start pursuing a fish, but you can really tell if it's pointless or whether it's worth it to pursue a cubera or a snapper just based on their body language. And the more you dive, the more you kind of get used to reading fish and seeing what their tendencies are, what's going to happen. And I don't know when I spotted this fish. I'm just kind of descending towards this edge, looking in the cracks. Maybe there's a grouper popping its head out. And then again, I'll do some grunting just to kind of pull in any kind of fish, whether it's, piquing the curiosity. And I think there's a grouper kind of cruising down the reef, but again, it wasn't stopping. It wasn't showing any curiosity towards me. So I just cut my losses, and I turn around and see a Cubera snapper following me. And I get behind this reef and start heading in it as cover. And I'm hoping to poke my head over and see the Cubera, but I was towards the end of my dive, and I was like, you know what, that's a long shot. These permit that literally come right in front of me gave me the perfect shot, and also it adds a different variety of fish to the box, so I'm just going to go ahead and take a shot at that guy, head to the surface, and I know Jake is right above me. He's going to put a backup shot in this fish and ends up shooting it right through the meat. It was really funny, and I couldn't help but to laugh, and he even was laughing about the whole thing, but it's what you kind of got to do in situations like that.
Baby, take a look.
God, I was aiming for his head, Jeff.
And Jake totally redeemed himself. He saw a permit maybe about 30 minutes later come cruising down the reef. He landed a good shot in this fish. Again, I'm looking to see if he needs a backup shot. It doesn't really look like it, so just stoked for him. Know he's got this fish handled.
No.
As Jake is going ahead and bleeding and gutting his permit, I saw a mutton kind of off in the distance, was just patrolling for food. And if I'd made a dive, I could probably do some grunting and stuff, but I was just deciding, you know what, these guys are at the surface, I'll go ahead and throw my throw flasher, and whenever he's pretty much done dealing with the permit, he'll be ready to watch my back whenever I make a dive. So go ahead and chuck my throw flasher. You can kind of see it fluttering down there at the top of the screen. And as I approach it, I see a mutton go off towards it, but something actually else bombards this flasher, and it is right there. A freaking African pompano came out of nowhere and went after this flasher. And once they are out, I don't pursue them. I did a little bit of grunting, swam away from him, and he came right into me. And they love that grunting. They're very curious, but if you're showing them any aggression or even swimming towards them at all, they will keep their distance. And this guy just came right in because I was basically facing the opposite direction of the fish. Stoked I was able to land a beautiful shot, and we used some teamwork to get this fish up.
JP. Yep. Yeah, I think I'm okay. Hey, I think I'm okay. This shot's good. Oh yeah.
Nice fish, Jack. Nice, dude.
Yeah, I shot him upwards.
That is sick.
There, try to pull your spear out while holding the line. So
I'll braid it real quick for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dylan! Dude, that's awesome, dude!
Just grab his tail.
Yeah,
African pompano, that's delicious, dude.
that's some of the best eating shit ever right there.
That's really good.
Yeah.
The day was not done. I really wanted one of those Cuberas that just kept following me and teasing me on these dives, as well as the mutton that was coming in off the reef. Now I go down with no flasher or chum or anything like that, and it ends up working out in my favor. I believe it's a mutton I get on this dive, pretty sure. But again, working this little reef edge, head down towards the bottom, not doing any kicking, just cruising down, keeping my head peeled. And with the current just barely moving, it just pushes me gently along the reef. And if there's any fish around in the area, usually they'll kind of be curious and see what I am and come in to take a look. And that's exactly what happens on this dive. Go down and just scanning the entire bottom, just looking around. And I believe it is right, I think here a mutton comes in, or cubera, something does. I'm just watching these things, these clips literally, and talking as I'm watching them, so I'm not really sure exactly where this fish comes in, but feel really good on my breath. There's the mutton, comes cruising in. And again, I was not down there really being super aggressive. It just kind of was, a fish was seeing something descend towards the reef, piqued his curiosity, came right in. Nice big school of horse eyes also come in, and I actually gut this fish and bring in another fish.
Worried about the sharks. I was after cuberas. This guy came right. I was after some cuberas, but this guy came right up to me. Figured I'd take the easier option.
Now, when you gut those fish, it really just, even if the target species doesn't come into the chum, it does bring in other fish like runners, jacks, maybe smaller bait fish, and that's what happened on this dive. I went ahead and gutted that mutton. I think those jacks were kind of going crazy on it. Made a dive just past the jacks, and this cubera kind of came up to me. Wasn't showing it any real heavy interest, just descending down to the bottom. He took a quick like little turn towards me, gave me just enough range to land a shot. And again, these fish have really serious scales, and it makes it hard to get penetration with your spear. And my slip tip was right on the edge, and the fish seemed like he was in plenty good range. But it was enough to get a hold of the fish. I didn't really, rip him up super hard to the surface, but I wanted to make sure, kept him away from any sharks if they decided to cruise in, and another solid fish for the day.
All right, you guys, what did you do? What did you do?
I messed up.
Jake was tinkering around with this permit, and dude, I didn't even see the AP. I saw some muttons, and I tossed the little throw flasher, went down. I was about to shoot a mutton, and then a freaking AP came and like bombarded me.
Bro.
He bombarded me.
Poor fella.
And then, dude, he bombarded me, and then he like darted away, and then he was like on the out, and I'm like, that sucks. I just missed an opportunity. So I ended up going back to the flasher, picked it up. I was grunting the whole time, and I turned around, and dude, he was above me, swimming right to me, and I just shot upwards at him. It was so sick. Yeah, look at this. Look at this baggie. Let's see this. Come on. Yeah. Dude. Look at that, AP and cubera right next to each other. So stoked. Hey, what did I do? I went off?
You snapped, bro.
I snapped.
You snapped.
Dude, I snapped because I was under the impression that like it was gonna be pretty much Jake and I, hauling fish, and so I was like, I'm gonna make sure we, get some fish for these guys. So I wasn't holding back. Don't forget the.
I was trying to let Jack shoot as many as you could. I was
you got a hug?
chilling.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure we get fish, and dude, today was my day. Today was my day.
Hell yeah. This past couple of trips have been your trips, dude.
No, last trip wasn't that much. I got a couple of them.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna send it back in. We're gonna see you guys at the island, and we are gonna cook up something super special for you. All right, you guys, we made it to the island. Look at this. We made it just in time for sunset. Getting everything unpacked. And I'll show you my setup in the morning of what I sleeping, and it's pretty impressive. But we're gonna get all our camping stuff set up. We're gonna get a fire going, and then we're gonna cook up some fish. Jake is on the boat right now. He's filleting the hogfish and the strawberry. JD's hogfish and Brent's
We provided
strawberry. So we're eating their fish for dinner. What a great day, but we're gonna quickly race this beautiful sunset, get set up, and then get cooking. So we're taking you guys with us. We didn't beat the dark, but we are getting stuff done. So I'm in charge of cooking. You can check this out. We got salt-watered hogfish and strawberry grouper. And Jake went ahead and diced them all up, perfect nugget size. I got a baggie and I got some of this gluten-free panko breadcrumbs, and I mixed some Tony Sass. We're munching on the ceviche, so that's like an appetizer. But look at this, look what I got over here for you. Check this out. So this was first batch, and oh my God, that looks so good. So second batch is going on right now, and it's like the perfect amount of sizzle. Look at that. How good does that look? JD, what you think?
Yes, please.
Birthday meal?
Yes, please.
All right, so we're gonna finish cooking this up. We're gonna do a taste test, so don't go anywhere. And we'll see you guys in just a minute. Once we're done cooking all of this fish, it's gonna be a lot, but it's gonna be delicious. Taste test.
No sauce.
That's the hog, no sauce. Give it a shot.
Oh God.
Did it good?
Awesome.
Seasoned all right? All right, I'm gonna try this now. Here, break bread with me. It's gonna be hot, dude.
Oh, it looks so good though.
All right.
Is that the hog or the grouper?
It looks like hog. Good? Dude, Jake is all about the fried fish. Dennis, you wanna give it a shot? Here.
It's a delicacy.
Here. Take a, here, break it off with me. Yeah, there you go. Let it cool
Nice.
off. Yeah, give it a shot.
Mmm.
Cooked
Beautiful.
all right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Nothing
All
like
right.
fresh fish.
All right.
I'm gonna have to dip that in the ceviche.
Hey, I have some Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh,
Bro.
That's awesome.
You can dump
Yo,
some out.
You might have just sold me on that one.
I am
right there.
good. How about it? Yes, tomorrow I'm gonna go through this whole camping setup that I'm rocking. So do not go anywhere.
Try to get him.
All right, Jake, you're up. Yeah, get after him. Little toadies, little toadfish. Oh God, dude! Oh, dude, that guy just jumped at me. Yo. Dude, I was sitting right here and he like attacked my foot. Oh, that was funny. Look at them all.
Oh, I had him in my hands. He's slippery though.
There's another one right there.
There's a bunch.
Hold on, we're gonna get one. Got him. Oh, dude, get him up, get him up. Hold on, let me change the lighting.
Bro.
See what their teeth in there though, dude? A bigger one, dude. Those things will hurt you for
Look
real.
at that, hold on. Yeah, dude, it's like the skin though. Feel the skin.
Yeah, feel the belly of them.
It feels like a rough mustache.
All right, we'll let you go. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me turn the light on so we can see this guy.
Good?
Yeah. See him blow out his hair. There you go.
Yeah.
Always fun to see cool stuff like that. Good morning, everybody. This is my setup from last night. Got a Haven tent, got a no-CM bug net, and it's a lay flat hammock. So I lay in here and I lay flat. So instead of like a hammock like the rest of my guys, the crew, I am above the ground and I am laying flat. But we had an amazing dinner last night. Looks like the crew is starting to wake up. We got Jakey boy, JD over there, Brent on the far side, and Dennis has already been up. He's been over at the boat, but we're gonna start packing down and I'll see you guys over on the beach. All right, we're about to set off. Good place to put our wetsuit on, we're surrounded by stingrays, but also a little hack, instead of, if you have the access, instead of dealing with shampoo and stuff, you just get your wetsuit like this, and then you just get a big scoop of water in it, and then it just slides. The water just helps it slide on you. I know this because of dealing with See, everything just slides right in once you get a big scoop of water. And then you just work it on. But we're gonna see you guys out there on the spot. We're gonna get nice and prepped. So once we actually get to the spots, we're ready to dive in and get some fish. And welcome to day 2 of this adventure.
The area we're diving today is a little bit more on the shallower side, but it is usually full of life, and I decided to rock the Hawaiian sling. And this one is actually my personal Hawaiian sling that I built. If you haven't seen videos in that, definitely go back and check out some of my other videos. I also did a walkthrough on how to build it. It's very similar to what JD was using the previous day. Not a ton of hogfish on this spot we were diving, but there were a healthy amount of mangrove snapper, and I was at the point, we've been diving probably about a couple hours now. We don't have a ton more time to dive before we decide to head back home, so I wanted to make sure I got at least some fish for the box today. And another thing, just making sure there's a variety in the box. I always like having different types of fish because it makes it nice whenever you're cooking meals. You can cook fish the different way, and they're very different meals. I picked the biggest mangrove snapper, aimed right for the gill plate shot, just a hair low. So I make sure I grab a hold of the fish and the spear at the same time and just head to the surface and get everything organized once I get to the surface. Because I was using my Hawaiian sling, I gave JD the pole spear because of the issues he was having with his ears. He was having a hard time clearing and drawing back the spear. So gave him the pole spear, makes a drop on a nice Almaco jack, and lands an absolute perfect shot.
Nice, dude. You got a big one.
Shortly after this, right before we were about to head back, threw my throw flasher, nice Zero came into it, and while this happened, or like just before I got this Zero, JD did the exact same thing, except I don't think he had a throw flasher. He just had a really perfect opportunity where a Zero mackerel came in.
I'll try one more time.
He made a quick drop and landed a good shot, and he was in the process of gutting it, just like me. He was gutting it, braining it, bleeding it, and I noticed that he got one. I was super stoked.
All right, you guys, that ends our day. So day 2, actually, we only shot JD. You got birthday fish. You got 2 Almacos, and what else you get? Zero?
Zero, yeah.
Nice. JD got a Zero. I shot 1 mangrove, and is that it?
That's it. I didn't shoot nothing.
That's all we got today.
Mackerel.
So I'm super. Oh yeah, and I got a mackerel also. But yeah, I'm actually really excited that we crushed it yesterday. And the main thing is we had such an awesome time on the remote islands. You guys, if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new, consider subscribing. And like always, guys, I'll see you next week for another adventure. Later.